Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hoop Talk. Today, we got a good one for you guys. We're going to be talking about the MVP race, the Rookie of the Year race as well. We'll be talking about the Nets, the Lakers, the Kings, a bunch of teams that are kind of catching our eye right now in a good way and bad way for some of them. But yeah, let's. What do you want to start out with? Should we just acknowledge the Luka Doncic right now?
Yeah, Luka Doncic is I don't think we had a ton of questions about it, but Luka Doncic is very much a generational player. I think every time that we kind of start to be Luka's maybe Luka is in that. I'm not saying like in the Ja Morant, Zion tier of player where we kind of feel that he's a bit lower, but I think Luka is very much a 1A player in the league, and it's kind of hard to recognize that at times due to the fact that last year was his first time going on a long playoff run. Besides that, he hasn't made it at the first round. But Luka is very much the guy. He is him, even though he doesn't really look like him. He may be a slightly overweight Slovenian man, but that doesn't mean he's not him. He very much is. Luka is one of the smartest players in the league. He's probably the first or second best pick and roll ball handler in the league. And this is without a ton of help, defensively or offensively. Christian Wood obviously plays a lot of minutes for them, but he's their second best offensive player as of right now. And that's not really, if you look at every other MVP candidate, their second best player is a lot better than Christian Wood. And the Mavericks are winning games only because of how well Luka is playing. If you have to put up 60, 21, and 10 to go win yourself a game against the Knicks, I think there might be a bit of
in overtime.
Yeah, in overtime.
No, but the Knicks are playing well too, but it's just to score 60, 21, and 10 and then have it be a close game to go to overtime is crazy.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's been scoring 50. I think the last 3 games he scored 50. He just scored 50 today, 60 the other game, 50 before that. And it's been really close games. The one he just won today, what came down to the last second, and the Spurs actually could have taken it into OT, but then I think it was Trey Jones missed the last free throw at the end. But yeah, that could have been another overtime game where Luka scored 50 points, which is insane. So, I feel like the only thing, the thing that the Mavericks have really done a good job of is surrounding Luka with a lot of good shooters that have they have the potential to go on a 20-0 run in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how good of a shooting team they are, but that's really about it. Offensively, besides Luka, like you said, they really have to find kind of that second star.
Yeah.
And a star not like Jalen Brunson. I'm not talking about that kind of Kristaps Porzingis. It got to be a star. You know
to be fair, Jalen Brunson is a lot of what they need right now is another guy on offense who can dribble, but which is
unfortunate.
Yeah, and also I think Porzingis. Everybody had a very different interpretation of him when he went to the Mavericks. We all were like, "Oh my goodness gracious!" The 2 best white guys in the league are about to be on the same team. Everybody was pretty excited about it. Obviously, things didn't really pan out. He's playing well in Washington right now, though. He's really emerged as a good rim protector after 2 years of not playing defense. But Dallas needs another guy who can dribble the ball. And I think some of the rim protection issues they thought they were going to solve with the big contract that they gave to JaVale McGee in the offseason, that has not panned out. He was the starter for a week. And then Christian Wood and Maxi Kleber have alternated that spot. Even though Christian Wood is not starting a ton, he's getting the most minutes at that position. But yeah, the Mavericks need another guy to dribble. Trey Burke is on the team, so I'm pretty sure. Trey Burke's sitting in the end of that roster somewhere. And Frankie Ntilikina is on the roster. So, they know where to go. Times get tough.
Speaking of another MVP candidate, Nikola Jokic. He's averaging 25, 10, and 9 this season. Really just been playing great. He's tied, or the Nuggets are tied for the first seed in the Western Conference right now, tied with the Pelicans. And the Nuggets are just really clicking right now. Aaron Gordon has become a really good piece, a really good role player for the Nuggets right now. Jamal Murray's back. Michael Porter Jr. Wait, did he get injured?
MPJ?
He's still playing. He's still playing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He did get injured?
No, I think he's still playing.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like. Okay, yeah. So he's still playing.
You know, I don't blame you. Bro's injured all the time.
Yeah, no. I felt like I saw a notification where he got injured, but no, he's still playing. Okay,
No,
yeah.
He played yesterday. Well, at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, he played against the Heat, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Jokic among those names. Jason Tatum has also been playing pretty well. 31 points a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Let's see. KD. Oof. We're gonna talk about the Nets a little bit later, but KD's just doing what he's always been doing. 30 points a game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists.
I don't think there's really one guy that's competing for it right now. But
Yeah. It's just Luka. The Mavericks were actually pretty close to like around the seventh, eighth seed like a couple weeks ago, and they were sitting around like 500. They weren't doing too hot. Luka was still playing well like he always does. I feel like he drops 30 every single game.
Yeah.
But he was dropping 30 a game. It just wasn't doing. It wasn't really working for them. They were playing well some games, and then some games where they would just have a total collapse. And but right now they're playing really well because Luka is playing like insane right now. So they're sitting about fourth in the West right now at the time of this recording. So that just really shows how valuable Luka is to the team because everything the team or like the success of the team is literally based on how well Luka plays.
Yeah, no, it's eerily similar to like a 2007 LeBron James situation right now, where or just like if you can pick a LeBron James Cavaliers year, you can probably fit that in one of those years. But
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you ever envision Luka leaving the Mavericks?
I don't know. I mean, like, that's hard to say because he's in his 5th year now or 6th year.
Mm-hmm. 5th year.
5th year. He's a consensus like top 3 guy in the league. He has been since like his 2nd year in the league, or like a top 10 guy. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's not his fault that the help hasn't been there. It's not his fault they didn't re-sign Jalen Brunson. They brought in Christian Wood. They brought in Porzingis. I mean, I think a lot of it has been unlucky. Like, the Porzingis trade was kind of supposed to transform like who they were as a team. It would give Luka a break. You could hand Porzingis the ball. He'd go get you a bucket. That didn't work out. Jalen Brunson kind of emerged slowly over time as their secondary ball handler who could also take control of the offense and win them games. But unfortunately, he had very strong ties to the Knicks. His godfather is the GM of the team. He was going to go there, join his family. His dad's on the coaching staff on the Knicks, so there's a lot of ties going in the other direction. I don't know. I mean, like Lucas seems. I mean, I don't really know. I don't work there, but he seems to enjoy it. Like, but if you continue to not get the help that you need to win a championship, then I think at some point you got to go. But at least for the next like 2 or 3 years, I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, same here. Anything could happen in the future, to be honest. Like stuff changes so quickly. Like you could see a player so happy with his team, just enjoying life with the team, and then in the off season, it's just a sudden like trade request. I mean, I guess we.
Yeah, I mean, like Trae Young wants out now.
Oh yeah, Trae Young. Like that was just really unexpected.
Bro, the
Hawks that was
team, man. The Hawks are
yeah.
They're like a league pass team that I watch pretty consistently, but like I'm not talking about in that way. Like if you check if you just go through like the Twitter mentions of like any Atlanta Hawks player, it's ridiculous every single time. Like DeJounte Murray, since he's left San Antonio, has been on the craziest streak that I've ever seen. Like Greg Popovich had him under lock and key. I don't know what's going on over there, and Nate
Yeah.
McMillan wants to resign like mid-season, and then like the Atlanta Hawks CEO, which I didn't even know basketball CEOs had that big of a voice. Like the Atlanta Hawks CEO came down, he said something about the Shams article that said Nate McMillan wanted to be out, wanted to get out or like resign in the middle of the season.
No, but McMillan said that he has no plans to retire in the middle of the season, but he's gonna think about it like definitely in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, I really like when he was a coach for those Pacers teams. That was pretty fun. Those Victor Oladipo, like those 2 years, good time.
Oh yeah.
And then when they went to 7 with LeBron, good time.
That was insane. Yeah. All right. What should we move on to next? We got a lot of teams we could talk about.
Let's not make this a long topic. But the Toronto Raptors are cooked. Let's just quickly go over this.
Oh man.
I kind of picked them to be a very good team this year. And I've seen a lot of talk recently about like how like from 2019 to now, how like this Raptors team was transformed. They were like kind of in a soft rebuild. They had that weird year where they played in Tampa, where they drafted Scotty Barnes. He emerged as like a star. But this year, he's been a bit lackadaisical. The defensive awareness isn't super there. And he just hasn't shown the improvement that you would want to see out of a second-year player, which is fine. Honestly, I think people are overreacting a bit to it. My fantasy team is being greatly affected, but it's all right. I think I don't think we should expect a jump in the second year of a player's career. It's almost always the third or fourth year where we see the points per game jump up. We see them develop more as a playmaker, as a defender. I think it's hard because people see the tape, they get adjusted, and they know what you can and what you can't do. So you're going to have to – there's a growing period there for a lot of second-year players. We're seeing the same thing with Jalen Green, who's having very off-and-on performances. Cade, we haven't had a chance to see this year. Unfortunately, he's going to be out for the season. But, yeah, I still think Scotty Barnes is a very good player. But, yeah, I don't think the Raptors have a super bright future. They had a bit of like a bridge situation where they had Fred VanVleet and Pascal playing really well at the same time. They were winning them games, but they also had a ton of young players on the team. But yeah, the Toronto Raptors, at least for this year, are cooked. I'm making the verdict here at us. On December 31st, Toronto Raptors are cooked. It's it.
You want to talk about the Lakers?
Oh my God. All right, I'll quickly talk about it. All right. We'll
quickly.
Go over the Lakers.
5 minutes.
Okay. So 5 minutes, bro. That's like half our show. Okay. Jovan Buha of The Athletic wrote an article that I really enjoyed recently. He's the new Lakers beat writer after LeBron kicked the last one out. Did you see that, bro? He moved to like Oregon. He's like it's super random. Like
that is random.
Yeah.
That is pretty random.
Anyways, it's a very difficult situation. I think we've talked about this like a bajillion times. Where LeBron had a big hand in creating this roster, or at least that's what we think, because Clutch has such a big say in what happens in like front offices where LeBron is involved. There's lots of Clutch clients on the team, but this team, as constructed right now, with Anthony Davis not being consistent like everyday player, is not going anywhere. LeBron James can put up 47 at age 38 as many times as he wants. It's not a sustainable thing. Like, no matter how good you are, it's not sustainable. The shooting isn't there. The defense is there. Like, Thomas Bryant had a really nice play in the Hawks game where Bron dropped 47, where Trae Young snaked the pick and roll, and he kind of blew up the action, like, as he tried to hit a little bounce pass towards the end of the game. That was a nice play.
Yeah,
that was the first nice play Thomas Bryant's made in a long time.
Oh, come on. He's been playing well.
I'm joking. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, wait for Buddy Hield. Yes. That's all. I mean, maybe give him the classic offer of Kendrick Nunn the first. See what happens. He's playing 27 first. But, yeah, unless AD comes back and they give him the juice, he just doesn't get injured. Like, they give him the Michael Jordan juice, he just doesn't get injured. The Lakers are not going anywhere this year.
All right. So let me first start off with what I like about this team.
Oh my lord!
So I think this team is miles ahead of last year's team. And the reason why I say this is because last year's team, they lost to a lot of really bad teams and a lot of really good teams. This year's team, I feel like this year's team, they're winning the games they're supposed to win. And the games they're supposed to win are the games that like when they play against teams that are tanking, teams that are way below 500, they're winning those games for the most part. Their schedule so far has been pretty tough, and they've actually had some or actually a lot of good opportunities against the really good teams that they've played to actually win those games. And that's why I say like they're way better than last year's team, because this team shows a lot of heart. And they don't just, if they get down by like 15 points, they don't just like give up. And that's because last year's team, I saw that so many times. It got me so frustrated. But you know how many times this season where we've been down by like 15 in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter we cut it down to like 5, or even maybe tie the game again. You know, we would still end up losing the game, like a lot of the times. Yeah, but it's promising.
There was the iconic Celtics game where we were down by like 30, and then we came back, and then we blew it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
we blew it in overtime.
And then there's the Sixers game where we were down by like 13 in the fourth quarter, came back, went to overtime, lost. There are like at least 3 other games like that. And even though we are losing, and it's really frustrating when that happens, and when the games are so close and we lose so many of those close games because we just can't close them. I think it's promising that we're actually fighting back in these games. And yeah, I mean, this roster is not constructed well, as we've said many times before. But I feel like if this team gets in the play-in and AD's healthy, we could get to the first round.
Man, the only reason I want the Lakers to go anywhere is so that the Pelicans don't pick up Victor Wembanyama.
Yes, sir.
That is because
that's good, bro.
We are about to gift wrap them Victor in a box. Nah. That team is already too good. I mean, bro.
But bro, I mean, like, okay, so right now they're the 13th seed in the West.
The same like the Thunder, dog.
They're like a half a game. They're like half a game behind the 11th seed. So they're basically 11th seed. Let's just say they're 11th seed, okay?
This is crazy. We're fabricating now on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, okay. AD, his injury really, it doesn't look too bad. The pain is gone, or he said the pain is gone. He'll probably be back in like January, mid-January, maybe end of January. But I think if he comes back, stays healthy, he was playing incredible before that. I don't think we got a chance to talk about that because we didn't have an episode before that, but yeah, he was playing insane before that. And he's really in all these close games that I'm seeing with the Lakers where they get so close, like within 5 points of coming back in the game and tying it up or maybe taking the lead. They just don't have that guy to carry them to that like to close out games, basically. LeBron really can't do that anymore, and he's doing all that he can, but he can't rely on Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker and Thomas Bryant to help him close games. There has to be that guy to help them, and AD is that guy. And there's so many games before when AD was not injured, and there are a lot of close games where we ended up winning because he just like went off in the fourth quarter. Was playing great defense too. Yeah, I mean, obviously he makes a huge difference. So
yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I do think with AD on the roster and LeBron playing, I think it's a winning team. I don't think that's the craziest thing to say. I think both times though, when AD was playing really well, when LeBron was playing really well, one of them was injured. which has kind of been the story for the past 2 years, ever since 2021. But we're approaching the halfway mark of the season pretty soon, like in a couple of games. And I think if there is a time for the Lakers season to turn around, it's around now. I don't really see I don't see a direction where they can lose like five or six more games in a row, or lose 4 games, win 1 game, and lose another like 3 or 4 games, and then like recover, because they're running out of time here, and the West is starting to separate. So if they want to turn their season around, kind of like what the Celtics did last year, they should probably do it now. Yeah.
And like trade wise, there aren't really a lot of options right now.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly Rob Pelinka is looking for a 3rd star, which I don't understand at all.
Yeah, we tried that already. It didn't really work out. Now, did it, Rob?
Oh, we didn't even talk about Russ. Russ has been playing amazing off the bench, getting triple doubles almost every other game. Bro, I was planning on looking for this, but I remember there was an episode before where I was like, I suggested that we put, this was last season. I suggested we put Russ on the bench, and like have him come off the bench. But then you were like,
you predicted it, bro. You predicted it. I remember.
I did. I said that. I was like, bro, we're gonna play much better if we do that. And you were like, nah.
Well, I just didn't think Russ was on the bench, bro. I just didn't think he was going to go.
So yeah, Russ, ever since he's come off the bench, his numbers have improved dramatically. I mean, it's really been good to have like that lineup with him, Austin Reeves, and what's it called? Yeah, him and Austin Reeves just play really well together. And that lineup off the bench is pretty good at like sustaining the leads that the Lakers have when they do have them, which is not a lot of the time, but it's there. But yeah, also another thing I just want to quickly mention about the Lakers, and then we'll move on. LeBron has 527 more points to go at the time of this episode to break the record. Yeah.
Bro, that's like 10 games of 50 points, bro. He's got it.
Yeah, bro, for real. Yeah, LeBron's been going crazy. Like the past 10 games, he's had like 30, 34, 27. Like, man, unbelievable. And he just dropped 47 on his birthday. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. All right, you want to talk about the Nets?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the Brooklyn Nets are currently second in the Eastern Conference, 11-game win streak. Ever since they fired Steve Nash, they have been on a tear and been playing really well. I have like a full analysis on their entire offense. Yeah, I'm gonna just hit you with that real quick. Actually, I'll let you go first. Just say what you want to say.
Okay. I think earlier, a statement that I said earlier in the season was the Brooklyn Nets need God. I think maybe they prayed a little bit, Ennes. I think maybe they prayed a little bit.
I think they did, yeah. Kyrie's Muslim. Come on.
I ain't gonna say that, but
what? Come on now.
Listen, that's not for me to speak on. But listen, the Brooklyn Nets. I know you have all the details on their offense. The Brooklyn Nets have greatly improved, like everything they've done across the board. They're switching a ton on defense. Like they're just a super switch happy team. They stay home a lot, which means like if you have a corner 3 shooter, you're staying home to him, and you're not coming out to help, and your guy from the wing isn't going to rotate. So they're trusting their matchups, and they're okay leaving their guys on islands. So KD and Kyrie, or Kyrie specifically, who teams like to target on defense, they're okay with him being left out there on an island if he's being targeted in switches. And this is like without a lot of their guys being as good as like being super healthy. Like Seth Curry's been in and out of the lineup. Joe Harris has been in and out of the lineup. Obviously Kyrie's been in and out of the lineup. But yeah, I know I'm not sure if you have it in there, but KD is playing like the best season of his career. He's shooting 62% on twos. And he's shooting 56% from the mid range. That is, 56%. That's
Nasty. Nasty.
That's a shot you're not supposed to take, like straight up. Like he's taking 15 footers, 18 footers, like just straight hezzy pull ups. Like, and he's making all of them basically. Like I haven't seen him miss one the whole year. But yeah, I do think.
Yeah, I mean, bro, you hit that right on the dot. I was about to talk about how the Nets are really utilizing the mid-range jumper, way more than any other team in the entire league. And you know, when you have guys like Joe Harris, Seth Curry, KD, Kyrie, who are all really, really good 3-point shooters, it would make sense to like build your offense around 3-point shooting, but they're really building their offense around mid-range jumpers, passing cuts. They're really, you know, with Steve Nash, the offense was more ISO based, just letting KD and Kyrie go to work, which would work, like maybe half the time. But I've kind of seen this with the Lakers too, where like they just kind of let LeBron go in ISO, and it doesn't work a lot. So the Nets have really found a new offense. Their whole offense is based on unselfishness, so making extra pass. I saw this one possession where they made literally like 5 passes around the entire wing. Like Kyrie gets the ball off of a dribble handoff. Oh yeah, they use dribble handoffs a lot too. So he gets the ball off a dribble handoff, passes it back to Royce O'Neal. He passed back to Kyrie. Kyrie gives it to KD. KD all the way to Joe Harris in the corner. It's just like, it's art, bro. It is a work of art what they're doing.
Yeah.
Passing the ball around the perimeter, getting open shots, mid-range jumpers, bro. Also, Nick Claxton he's a really big part of their offense too. He sets a lot of really good screens. Like he's really good at setting screens at the perfect time. Like when KD's bringing the ball up, for example, right, like 2 steps after he passes half court, Nick Claxton will set a screen on KD's guy. KD will just dribble he'll take like 2 dribbles to the right and he'll get a wide open 3. And that works a lot of the time. And then Nick Claxton he's also setting really good off-ball screens too. And not just him, but the whole team's doing this too. Off-ball screens are really being utilized by the Nets too. Yeah, it's just really unselfish play. And you don't really expect that when you have 2 superstars on the team, but they've made it work. And I see some people saying that KD and Kyrie are carrying this team to 11 game to their win streak. But that's just definitely not true. Their supporting cast is playing like a huge role in how well they're playing right now. And I mean, obviously KD and Kyrie are playing insane right now too, but the role players are playing their role exactly how the Nets want them to.
Yeah, so, yeah, most definitely. Like Jacques Vaughn has been, I think he's kind of shown like what this roster is capable of, in terms of like the basketball they can play. There's still, like you said, there's still a little bit of like my turn, your turn offense when it comes to KD and Kyrie. Like there was the end of the Raptors game, where they gave the ball to Kyrie. They used KD as a decoy. They gave the ball to Kyrie. They just said, go get a bucket, basically. And that won them the game. So you still have that juice like that you can turn to like in those moments. But like Ennes said, like they're playing good basketball. Like everybody's cutting hard. They're moving well. Like it's everything your high school coach like told you to do, basically. They're doing it all at a very elite level. And that's causing them to win games. So, and also Nick Claxton, super switchable. Super switchable.
You want to talk about the Kings?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. The Sacramento Kings.
Like the beam!
The most surprising team in the West right now. Or in the entire league, actually. Most surprising team in the entire league. Man. I mean, I don't think anyone has ever said that sentence before. I think I'm the first person to say that. Let's go. That's crazy. All right. Okay, so the Sacramento Kings currently they are 5th in the Western Conference. They in the offseason, pretty much all they did was, or not all they did, it's actually they made some pretty big moves. They got Domantas Sabonis off a trade with the Pacers.
Well, that was
They lost Tyrese.
That was in season though.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was. But he didn't really get a big chance to play with them last season. In the last half of the season, I mean, not really meaningful basketball.
Yeah.
But yeah, they lost Tyrese Halliburton off that trade, which sucks. But they got Sabonis off of that, and then they also got Kevin Huerter in the offseason, which was a huge move for them. Let me talk about their offense for a second. So Sabonis and Huerter are have the best 2-man game in the entire league, bro. The best. Like I was talking about with the Nets a little bit, they're using dribble handoffs a lot, where Sabonis would just get the ball on the wing, and then Huerter would come off like his side to get the dribble handoff, and then Sabonis would kind of set that screen, because right after he passes the ball off, he sets that screen on Huerter's guy, because Huerter's guy is like chasing after them the entire time. And Huerter gets a lot of wide open threes off that. A month ago, Huerter was shooting like 50% from three, which is absolutely insane.
He's going crazy.
Obviously it's died down a little bit now, like the 42%, which is still really good. He's also shooting 48% from the field. Yeah, I mean him and Sabonis are really playing well in that 2-man game. Also, De'Aaron Fox is just playing great right now too. He's like one of the fastest, quickest guys in the NBA right now. His finishing abilities are really good. When he goes at the rim, he's able to finish really well. Their whole offense is basically based on pass and cut movements, and also finding a lot of wide open threes. And that kind of makes sense because their coach is Mike Brown, who was an assistant coach for the Warriors like the past few seasons. And he's like done an amazing job with the Kings this season. And he's kind of implementing some of the things that the Warriors had the past few seasons into the Kings offense, which is kind of why the Kings have the second highest offensive rating in the NBA right now. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all. What'd you guys say about the Kings?
Yeah, like you said, Sabonis, I think, is part of this new age of like, we're going to use our biggest, tallest guy as our hub. He's able to be a playmaker. He's able to move the ball. Kind of like a lot like, it's not the Jokic blueprint, because nobody can do what Jokic does. But they kind of use Bam in a similar way at times in Miami, where he's the orchestrator. So if, like you said, if he were to take a DHO with Kevin Huerter like on the right wing, then he could keep it. It's kind of like it's like a RPO, like kind of like you could keep
no,
it.
that's true.
Or you can hand it off, depending on what the defense is giving you. So if somebody goes under the screen, you hand it off to Kevin Huerter. If somebody goes over, that leaves more room for Sabonis to go in the paint. And with De'Aaron Fox also having great chemistry in a 2-man game with Domantas Sabonis, and Kevin Huerter really emerging as kind of the secondary playmaker that we had a hint of what he was in Atlanta, but here in Sacramento he's really blossoming.
Yeah, 16 points a game, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Yes, sir. And most importantly, man, you gotta like the beam. Gotta like the beam.
Gotta like the beam, bro.
Gotta like the beam every time.
Also, Sabonis, like you kind of mentioned, his passing skills are really, really good. And teams, like, it's really hard. It's kind of hard to guard Sabonis in the post, because when he gets the ball in the post, it's just an automatic 2 points if you don't double him. He has really good footwork in the post. He can finish really well there. And then if you double him, he's really good at finding the open man. So when he gets doubled, he just automatically passes the guy who's wide open for three. The Kings get so many wide open looks from three for that, just because he's getting doubled so much in the post. And then when he's not, he's just able to score so easily there. So he's a huge part of their offense. And I think Sabonis he's done that with the Pacers too, but I don't think the Pacers had really capable shooters to kind of complement him with that. I think the Kings players really complement Sabonis' skills well. And yeah, he just fits perfectly into this offense. And this offense is like all these players are these players have really bought into Mike Brown's offensive scheme. And they've all like found all the players on the team have found their own role.
Yeah, and I mean, I think looking back on the Tyrese Halliburton trade, I think me and you were very vocally negative about the Kings acquiring Domantas Sabonis and trading away Tyrese Halliburton. Even though it's still a trade that I don't love since Sabonis is older, I think Tyrese Halliburton is maybe a better player. I think it's worked out for both sides, like stylistically. Halliburton is thriving in Indiana. He's leading the league in assists right now. He's like there was like a 2 weeks where he just didn't have a turnover, which was like insane. I think the trade's worked out. Obviously, Buddy Hield's over there in Indiana. I think everything's worked out for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, and the Kings really needed a talented big like Sabonis to complement Fox, because Fox hasn't had that his whole career when he's been with the Kings. He's always had really
talented? Marvin Bagley?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm sorry, Marvin. But yeah, he's not bad. It's just Sabonis
Harry Giles,
insane. Harry Giles is
Rashawn
amazing,
Holmes,
man.
Oh
yeah.
Real
Yeah.
Same talent there. I don't know what you're talking about.
For real.
I'm joking. I like Rashawn Holmes a lot, and I like what Marvin Bagley's doing. I'm not being a hater just to be a hater. I like both those players.
Okay.
Also, Domantas Sabonis, real quick. Domantas Sabonis is basically using like one hand at this point. Like his other hand's fractured, so he's been playing basketball with one hand for like the past 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So yeah, Domantas Sabonis. He plays bad in 2K though. Domantas Sabonis is not fun to use in 2K,
bro.
Ever.
That is true.
My league,
because I mean, no
points. It's ridiculous.
Because no one really plays in the post in 2K.
That's not true.
That's really his best attribute.
What you mean? What? No. Y'all need to tap in. We need to make.
It's not the most popular way of playing the game. You know what I mean?
We should make a gaming channel, Ennes, for real. We should.
Facts, bro.
We should. They'd really tap into that one. They really would.
Yeah. We should do like 2K rebuilds.
Bro,
my league.
At that.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what happened to me the other day? My franchise file on Madden got corrupted, bro. And then I had like there was a whole thread about it, like on like what's it called? Everybody lost their online franchise files. Like all of it's gone. I had to completely restart.
That sucks.
I was like in year 15 of my Trey Lance rebuild, bro. Ridiculous.
Damn.
I hate to see it, bro. He was so ridiculous. Good. You know how long it takes for Trey Lance to be good? It takes forever. Forever. You know why? He's like a 70 overall. Ridiculous.
Because he sucks.
Hey, bro, be quiet.
Brock Purdy's better. Brock Purdy's better.
Bro, Brock Purdy is not better, bro. Y'all are not watching the games. Kyle Shanahan is gifting him buckets right now. He's thrown to wide open receivers for like the past 4 weeks. I love Brock though. I love Brock. He's QB1. He's gonna take us to the big one. He's gonna take us to the big one. Big Lombardi.
Who's your number one in the Rookie of the Year race?
Rookie of the Year race. I mean, I want to say something else, but I think there's only one answer. Yep.
It's that man.
Jeremy Sohan for the San Antonio Spurs. One-handed free throws. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he's actually pretty. He's been improving though.
No, he's
been playing well these past couple games.
I do. He's shooting 70% on one-handed free throws and 42% on two-handed free throws. So he's just got to commit at this point. And he's probably the good.
I mean, whatever works, you know.
Yeah, I mean, matter. What's his name? I always forget his name. Underhand. Who played for the Rick Barry. Rick Barry.
Oh, yeah. Rick Barry, yeah.
I think everybody should commit. Personally, I'm not going to do it, but I think everybody else should. You make more free throws. It is.
I mean, if it works for you, I mean, it's not that hard to make it. It's just hard to be consistent with it. So
I think you guys gotta practice.
If you want to actually shoot like that, you got to practice that a lot.
I think everybody should. They should all commit. We should go to, even though I've heard Rick Barry's not a super nice guy. I was going to say we should go to Rick Barry's house and learn, but I don't think he's a nice guy. So,
okay, but the actual number one
Walker
is Paulo Banchero.
Utah Jazz, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
My bad. Right.
Come on now.
Just Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic. That's who it is.
Yeah, it is.
He's a hooper.
It is 21 points a game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Just absolute
hooper.
obvious number one pick. Great choice by the Magic. Him and Wemby gonna be crazy together.
Weird, bro. Adam Silver better not to let that happen, bro.
Nah, he will.
So I think we should, bro. We should make it like an NCAA situation, like for football, where they keep Wemby in France for like another 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. I don't think we should let him.
What would be more scary though? Him and Paolo, or him and Cade? I think him and Cade is more scary.
But there's so much talent on that Detroit team. Like there's so much. It's unnurtured talent, but it's all very good talent. I think the thing is, bro, they have so many guys on the Magic. Like, what are they gonna do with Bobo then? Bobo's just Wemby but better.
Bobo is so good, man. Oh my god, Bobo and Wemby.
We should do a whole episode on Bobo.
Dude, we should just analyze his entire game.
I know,
bro. Bobo and Wembanyama, and Paolo Banchero,
and Mo Bamba.
That is scary.
And Mo Bamba. Don't forget about Mo Bamba.
No, I'm forgetting about it. No disrespect. No disrespect.
I thought Mo Bamba was going to be such a good rim protector and a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Man, was I wrong. Whoo, boy. Man, was I wrong. I saw somebody tweet the other day that they're looking for a first-round pick in return for Mo Bamba. That ain't happening. That is not happening. I hate to break it to you, bro. That is not happening.
At number 2, I got Benedict Mathurin.
Ben Math.
Him,
Arizona man.
Benedict, or sorry, I spelled it. I said his name wrong. It's Benedict Mathurin. Ooh. 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists. And he's not even starting, bro. He's not even starting.
He's 6 man, for real.
6 man of the year behind Russ.
Behind Christian Wood, bro. Christian Wood. Hooper.
Yeah.
Even though he airballed that 3 against the Cavs. You know, I really like Christian Wood because, on 2K, he's really easy to trade for. It's you can just stack up second rounders for, the next 5 years. You can get Christian Wood. Just a little insight for y'all. Great for the rebuilds. He just needs to learn how to play defense. And then he'll be set, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Christian Wood, he'll make a lot of money. I'm just
bro,
they should hire me as their agent for real. If NBA players had me as their agent, I'd make them so much money. Give me a player.
Yuta Watanabe.
I'd tell Yuta. Actually, no, Yuta's perfect, bro. Why'd you give me the best player in the league, bro? Come on now, he's shooting 57% from 3. Okay.
Yeah, bro. I forgot to talk about him with the Nets. But yeah, he's been playing great. Okay, well, I'll give you another player.
Brody, there's 350.
James Harden.
Okay. I tell James, you got to get the Theragun. Put it right to your hamstring, right? Right to the hamstring, okay? You got to get in the cold bath. Then we're going to do sprints up and down the stairs. We're going to improve the internal muscles, okay? Sprints up and down the stairs with the books in your backpack. You feel me? Yeah. Up and down the stairs. Get the Theragun right to the hamstring. It's going to turn from roast beef to filet mignon, right? Yeah. Yes, sir. You're going to get that hamstring right.
Okay.
The juice is going to come back. Even though he's been playing really well, though.
Okay, well, I thought you were his agent, not his trainer.
No, bro, I am, bro. I'm agent / trainer / public relations figure / NBA connector. Oh, whoops! keep the desk there. All right, bro, and I tell him, don't go back to Houston because that's dumb. Don't go back to Houston. There's stuff that I can't name on the podcast, which is why he wants to go back to Houston. But that is not enough, James. That is not enough. That was a crazy report. That was out of nowhere. Woj just oh yeah, casually, right after the game, after they won. Oh yeah, James Harden wants to go back to Houston. What?
You trying to stir up some beef,
bro? Honestly, Shams is Woj is an instigator. Shams is Riz God, but
he is W instigating.
Bro,
W instigating. They really are like the biggest instigators in
honestly,
the entire.
bro, it'd be so funny if they just lied about stuff. Like if they just never like they just said and like teams got the idea from there. Like remember when James Harden got traded from the Nets? Like what if Woj was just bored? He was just be like, oh yeah, maybe James Harden wants out today. You never know. That's how much power he has. He could just tweet out,
Bro, that's true.
like LeBron James is retiring on Monday, and then Bron would think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's actually true, man.
Bro,
that's true.
It's crazy.
All right, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Hoop Talk. And if you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.